What's going on, guys? Keegan here from Punisher's Paintball. I'm here with Joel, and today we are bringing back paintball news.
What's up? Alright, so if you guys like this video, you already know. Subscribe, shop at punisherspb.com. We'll see you after intro. Alright guys, so it is a new month. It is that, well, technically it's not. It's the end of September. But needless to say, we're going to talk about the month of September here in Paintball News. We apologize that it's been a few months. Crazy whirlwind of a summer, and we've got some new stuff for you guys. So first things first, we're going to talk about the possibility of the NPPL. And I think I'm going to have to talk about it because when I asked you, you're like, what's the NPPL? Alright guys, so for those of you guys that aren't familiar with the NPPL was a tournament series that happened in the 2000s, and basically it was a 7-man, semi-uncapped format. It was a much longer field, but width-wise it was pretty similar, and as you can see on YouTube, there was all kinds of really cool places. One of those places was Huntington Beach. And there's quite a bit of speculation because the NPPL just opened up a brand new website. So I think that going along with this idea of more competition within the tournament series, the NPPL might be coming back, which would be a huge thing for paintball because there's a lot of people that are upset with what's going on with X-ball formats. So needless to say, it's possible that we might be seeing another national tournament series next year with the NPPL, or possibly possibly something else as well. Keegan, would you play 7-man? It's like the perfect mix between 5-man X-ball and 10-man.
But I like 10-man. 10-man's so fun. I'd probably give it a shot.
NPPL's taking notes like, we're going 10-man. Forget 7-man, we're going 10-man.
I'd definitely give it a shot. Sounds like fun. Longer field, though, means more running for me.
That's true. Longer run to the snake, but you don't get shot nearly as much off the break.
Yeah, it definitely seems like something that could be fun. You could probably tell I've never got a chance to play it, so I don't have any experiences or memories of playing it. So it could be something that I find fun. It could not be.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to be a big thing to get more people into the competitive end of paintball, though.
Definitely, and the rate of fire, or not the rate of fire, I should say, but the firing mode being semi-uncapped, a lot of people will kind of want to go back to that. That's, I think, part of the mechanical craze, because it's definitely, a shooter's paradise. Whoever can move their fingers faster and close places wins. Next thing up is the WNXL. So Tom Cole, the president of NXL Paintball, basically just went on announcing that the WNXL is going to be put on, and there's basically some conversation about why a WNXL. First of all, WNXL means Women's NXL, and the Women's NXL would basically be its own separate entity from the NXL. Keegan, your thoughts?
So I was watching part of the live stream when Kenty had it on in the shop. So it seems like Tom Cole is trying to get more women into X-Ball by giving them their own league to play in, which I think is smart. Women playing against other women could actually be really fun to watch. You'll be seeing a lot of, I'm not really sure how he's going to do it, because in terms of women that are in paintball, I really don't think that there's enough to have all these different divisions playing all these, filling up instantly.
Right.
I don't think that there's enough women's teams, or even just women out there in general, to be able to fill something like the NXL. It would definitely start out as a smaller league. Now, we all hope that grows, but it's definitely going to have to start out as something smaller, maybe like 1 or maybe 2 divisions.
Yeah, maybe even like an open/amateur division, which would be kind of cool. That's how paintball started, was just open and amateur. So needless to say, I think it's a great idea too. I think the big problem is the statistics and the logistics behind it, because it is definitely a male-dominated sport when it comes to just the demographics behind it. But I think that it could be really interesting. I hope that it succeeds for paintball's sake, in the sense of It encourages women that might be in the scenario world or the recreational side of things. And there's also definitely a lot of camaraderie. Like I see Kenty kind of talking to women at paintball fields and stuff like that. And it might be a little bit of an encouragement for them to go, hey, we have our own league within the sport, and hey, like we can kind of do this and kind of progress at our own pace and everything else like that. So needless to say, we'll see how it goes, right?
Yeah.
I think it's debuting at Cup, I want to say. But needless to say, I'm very interested to see what happens with it, and the possibility of paintball being in the Olympics is its own separate discussion that we can make an entire YouTube video off of. But needless to say, I think that it's a step in the right direction to try and be considered for the Olympics. But at the same time, I feel that like there's a lot of other steps that need to be taken before we even, throw the idea of paintball in the Olympics. Paintball needs to grow as a sport. Is my personal opinion, but I would love to hear what everyone's comments are. So sound off if you guys have an opinion on that. All right, so next up, NXL Chicago just happened. We were there. Check out the vlog if you guys haven't already. Hopefully it's released by then. If not, be on the lookout for it. We got some practice vlog information. We were kind of busy at the event, so we didn't personally vlog at the event. But needless to say, it was a great time. There was grass, Keegan.
Was there?
There was grass.
I actually was not there. I was supposed to be in Alaska, but didn't end up being there. So, I was unable to be there. You guys did pretty well.
We did all right.
Should have done better.
Yeah. Shout out to Warped for those guys that won Warped that kicked us out. But needless to say, we made it to Ocho Finals. We were second in our bracket. Coalition, once again, got the best of us in the prelims. But needless to say, it was a good time. It was a good venue. It's kind of a weird layout when it came to that. Dynasty won, which was interesting. I thought Dynasty, honestly, wasn't going to do well this event because it didn't really pertain to them. They don't necessarily have like a lot of aggressive players. They have the experience and the IQ players. Yeah. But needless to say, like Fragi killed it in the Snake, and it was good to see him feasting. You know, and taking on the Young Bucks and teaching them who's boss. So that was really cool. Level, our local team, shout out to all those guys. They did phenomenal, placed 6. And I think the other topic of conversation is Blast Camp is just running train, dude. Yeah. Blast Camp is running train in semi-pro division. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at Cup because Blast Camp and I think it's A-Team are like really close. So who's going to be kicked out and rebuttaled from the pro division because it's now kind of like 4 different teams from that 16th to 20th place, and then you have who's going to make it up from the semi-pro division to play pro next year. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people were actually really into this last event in terms of the pro division because we were seeing a lot of the powerhouse teams not do as well, and we were seeing a lot of the lesser experienced teams that haven't really been kicking ass in every tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Level beat Level beat Impact. Revo, don't get me wrong, Revo's good. I hope that none of the Revo guys are watching this, but Revo beat knocked Heat out. Yeah. Which was kind of wild. Uprising made it into the playoffs, which was good. I'm friends with a lot of those guys. It was good to see them do well. But yeah, to your point, and it all, in my opinion, was the layout. Like, the layout was conducive to chaos. And some people were able to feed off of it. Other people didn't adapt as well. And, like, I saw that across all the divisions. Like, all the divisions, most of the teams that did really well didn't. And, but needless to say, there was those few teams that no matter what happens, they're always good. Next topic conversation is the Astra Invitational. Down in Texas just happened as well. So there's that side of things. Basically, the Astra Invitational was a winner gets all entry event. So Blast Camp ended up winning that. They beat out Aftermath, I believe, and it was a $15,000 payout. So yeah, that was pretty wicked. There's a lot of cool media coverage for those people that were there. I believe that it was Ninos from X Factor that ran it, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong there, guys, in the comments. But needless to say, it was 4 or 5 pods was the max that you could carry on your back.
That's what I heard.
And there was some different limitations to what was able to happen, and it seemed to go off really well. Good media coverage, good reffing, and all that stuff. So once again, another league that possibly be forming between Astra, Bunkerfest, and possibly now the NPPL. All right, next topic of conversation, the DSR Plus. Keegan, your thoughts on the DSR Plus? We already did an overview video.
Yeah, DSR Plus, I think that they made all of the needed changes to the gun. They really did what everyone asked for with the gun, with making it have a little bit more space up front, as well as including those upgrades. They really did everything that they should have done with the gun, which I think was nice. I know that a lot of people are mad because companies just keep coming out with like, oh, the second iteration of guns. You see the same thing with cars. They come out with the next gen car, and they just fix the previous issues with it, and it's hard to get something right the first time, especially when it's something like the DSR, which was a completely newly designed gun. They didn't start from a previous model already. So I think that they killed it with the gun. It looks great. It feels great. It shoots great. And overall, I think is definitely a competitor against the other two kind of in that price bracket.
Yeah, the 170R and the Shocker Amp. Coming in at $1,000 to $1,100, DSR Plus is definitely a great gun. I wish they did something with the feed neck is my only thing, but overall they made some really good improvements on the gun. The gun shoots phenomenal. One of the guys on our team is shooting one, Drew. Big guy Drew out there. Hope he's watching this. Needless to say, he loves it. It was like wickedly quiet from the pits, which was really cool. Yeah, you barely hear it. It was pretty wicked. And it shot great for a mall event. So, and we've been having great reviews from the customers that purchased one from us from the initial batch. So, yeah. Last but not least, we are going to talk about an unfortunate event. The Liberty University paintball team is ceased to exist. They went on PB Nation and unfortunately announced that they are going to be dissolving. Liberty University was very popular in the college spectrum of things because of the fact that they had their own bus, they had their own field, and it was definitely funded partially by and supported by the university. So unfortunately, it's a sad thing to see that. I hope that the Liberty University still kind of like put something together for the NCPA, but unfortunately it's not going to be wickedly supported like it was. It was cool to see some form of a college program that looked a little bit more legitimate and everything else like that, like a real true college sport. So unfortunately, I think that is kind of an unfortunate setback for the paintball industry, but I'm hoping that, maybe there's some other, programs and universities out there that step up to the plate and do something similar. In the scenario world, we like to touch on one thing. Marvel vs. DC just happened in Indiana, and from what I can hear from local people, it seemed like it was a good event. We were supposed to be there. Some unfortunate things came up, but Marvel vs. DC, if you guys are interested in a really cool scenario event, that just happened at, I believe it's called Fort Knox Paintball. And then there's a bunch of big games going on to close out the year all across the United States, including a local big game at Splatter Park, where you might possibly see you guys there. So with that, guys, that's all we have for paintball news in the month of September. We'll see you guys some point in October to refresh and see if there's any new updates within the paintball world. If there's anything else that we missed, please leave it in the comments, and we would love to hear what you guys thought. We will see you guys next time.